Who's that waifu? It's Hansa. No, wait, fuck, I fucked it up. It's Hasna. Welcome back with the Plat. We are going to be looking at the blind prodigy herself. You could tell she's blind because she was unable to find any more clothes to put on. She just had to grab her bed sheets, and that was all she was able to do. She got what she thought was her purse, but it turns out it's just it's a triangle on a stick and a string. So we're going to read what she does. She obviously is a character that is designed to be very attractive. So she's either going to be the most broken character in the game, or she's probably going to be a character to bait you out of your resources because you're like, oh, she's my waifu. Not only do I get pits, but also she has that thing on her leg. Oh, woo. So don't worry, we could fix her. Okay. She's a church girl. She goes to church and reads her Bible. She is the fragrance of the shadow. Honestly, that sounds like a Old Spice, not an Old Spice, like an Axe body spray. If you don't, you were going to Walmart and you're like, oh, which is on sale? Axe body spray, fragrance of the shadow. Oh yeah. So she is a legendary seeker. We just got a legendary seeker with Saphia. So she's a female. She's a drifter, ladies. 151 speed actually is very mid. I feel like that's kind of fast for a seeker though. I think seekers usually have a bit lower agility. 151 is not like super fast or like Simona range, but I actually feel like that is a little fast for normal seekers. But yeah, let's actually read what she does besides just oogle and Google. A mysterious blind woman from Elaman. She first appeared near a spring in the desert at the border of Iria and seems to often appear with another mysterious person. Okay. Is it me? Am I the mysterious man? The incense burner in her hand emits a deadly fragrance during battle, and she dances with a seductive and elegant manner, changing the low-key impression she is used to maintaining. All right. So this is going to be translated in a way that I'm going to try to interpret what they do. She's immunity to blind. Interesting. I would say she doesn't have immunity to blind. I would say she is blind. But I guess there's a status effect that one character in the game can put it on, and it's bad. This is flavor text, but it is kind of fun. I like flavor text. Magic attacks increased by 15%. Okay, now we're talking. Oh, yeah, okay, they're making overly complex characters, Plat. Yeah, right. What about this? Magic attack plus 15%. Simple, we understand. Oh, there's more. When all enemies within 5 grids of the self finish their actions. Okay. Whenever an enemy within 5 tiles ends their turn, apply hidden fragrance to them. So if they're around her within 5 tiles and they attack an ally, even, it doesn't have to be her, it could be anybody. If they stand by, they attack, they're going to get hidden fragrance at the end of their turn. Kind of a weird mechanic that it's not when she, it doesn't sound like it's when she goes, it's when they go. It lasts for 2 rounds within 5 squares of the player's range. Hidden fragrance. I don't know what this means. The attack and defensive attributes. So what does hidden fragrance do? Do we get to see what that does? I don't know if it even says it. Well, that's going to be pretty fucking hard to understand her kit without knowing exactly what it does, but maybe it does this. The attack and defense attributes of enemies are reduced by 15%, and the chance of receiving a critical hit is increased by 15%. So I'm pretty sure this is not what hidden fragrance does. But basically they're saying if a character within 5 tiles of her does an action, they get hidden fragrance. What does that do? I don't yet know. I'll go find out and I'll edit it in here. But besides that, once you're within 5 squares of something that has hidden fragrance, they're basically getting a debuff on. So give me a second. All right, so I looked it up, and basically hidden fragrance doesn't do anything. What it does is it kind of does, right? It does trigger the second effect, but the debuff itself basically means Hansa does an additional effect, right? It's like if she'll check if they have hidden fragrance, and then she will trigger an additional effect if they have it. Depending on the attack, I believe. But yeah, they have hidden fragrance and they're within 5 squares of you, then they will have their attack and defense attributes lowered, and they'll get more likely to be crit. However, if you're about further than 5 squares away, Hidden Fragrance isn't going to do that. Corrupt and Decay. Inflict 50% of attack value on all enemies within 2 squares of the target value. Life loss. Impose no healing. Not very good. It's fine. It's kind of everywhere. It's kind of a lame initial skill. I don't know if I even mentioned the trait. This seems really good. 15% is massive. I wonder if that's just a 5-star. Let me go back to Billy here. Yeah, that's her 5-star. So it starts at 8%. So like that's good, but yeah, I mean, it is a little bit lackluster, but it is still very good. But you could get a very similar effect with just having Magnus, right? I think he does attack and defense 15% as well, and I think it's also within 5 squares. So it feels like it feels like we might already have it. Hypnosis, single target attack, 35% damage, inflicting sleep for 2 rounds. Honestly, this is always a good ability. Not exactly what you're looking for in a Seeker, though. It's definitely not busted. It's fine. After an active attack, the damage taken by the player is reduced by 15%. If you crit, though, you get 25% additional damage reduction for 1 round. Yeah, right, bro. Come on. These are both pretty, like, lackluster. Not super interested yet. Strong Aroma Shock. My nickname in high school. Magic damage. A single attack causing 150% damage and applies all enemies within 2 squares of the target. Fragrance. So instead of... This is kind of weird, because doesn't this automatically trigger fragrance? Let me read this. Is this different? Increase all enemies within 3 squares of the range of finish their actions, apply a hidden fragrance, last 1 round. Okay, so it sounds like it's pretty much like this seems... I guess if you had to move far, like an enemy didn't end their turn within 5 squares of you, especially at a lower star rating where it's only 3 squares, you can move up and you could basically make everyone have the hidden fragrance on them to do a debuff on them. That's fine. 150% attack is reasonable. I don't, is Billy just better? Is this site just like way better? Will it tell me how much energy this shit costs? 2 energy. This is just better. But I actually like this site a bit more. I don't know why. Scented. We better not use it. Scented Path. You know, that's why I like it, because I don't have to wait to load on the other one. So yeah, we'll just do this and we'll jump back. After attacking, inflict hidden fragrance. Okay, that's fine. That her other attack already does that. It's a debuff. When attacked by Hansa, the player will receive an additional effect. Okay, so this is what hidden fragrance actually does. When you're attacked by Hansa, there's an additional effect that cannot be dispelled or immune. It doesn't say what the additional effect is, but I assume it is based on the skill you're using. It lasts for 2 rounds. Attack has hidden fragrance, restores 2 energy points. Hidden fragrance, additional 40% of the HP is restored. Okay, what this says to me is if you attack something, you apply hidden fragrance. If they have hidden fragrance, then you restore 2 energy when you hit them, which sounds really good. And then also you heal when you attack if they have hidden fragrance, is what it sounds like. Yeah, you'll recover an additional 40% of your health and you'll recover 2 energy. So that's actually insane energy regeneration. Very, very cool ability here. Reaction, when actively attacked, 8% less damage, then you get damage up 2. She does not seem like a damage dealer. She seems like a debuffer first and foremost, maybe with a little bit of damage. Possessed reaction. If they had hidden fragrance, when an enemy attacks you, damage taken is reduced by 30%. That's cool, right? 30% damage reduction. She seems like she is going to be slightly more tanky. Let me take a look. She is wearing the best female armor set in the game, so she probably is going to be pretty tanky. So the reaction, it's boring, but it is very much reasonable. I guess she's going to be in the middle of the fight, not trying to dodge, just giving everyone with the fragrance on them, taking less damage. Doesn't have a way to dodge yet, so maybe she is just going to have to survive. Raid instant, gain crit 1, injury 1, probably damage up, and move 2 for a round. Whatever, it's like, it's fine. When the action starts, so at the start of your turn, if there is a character with hidden fragrance, you gain critical hit 2, maximum range. I wonder if that's a move. When your turn starts, if there is a player with hidden fragrance, then gain critical hit 2. The maximum range increases by 1. So that must be on your skills, I assume, not your movement. And then after causing a critical hit, you can move another 2 squares. Very good, but like, what are you using right now? Like, what are you actually using here? I did pull up R&J's video here to to take a look. I was trying to see if he would tell me what Hidden Fragrance does, but I did end up reading it down there. I guess right now, before you're level 60, right now you're using Aroma Shock to do 150% damage. So it's like, what is the point of all this crit and stuff? Not here yet. But next up is the Eviscerated Phantom. It's a normal attack dealing 90% damage. If adjacent to the target, okay, so if you're next to them, and it has Hidden Fragrance, it'll make an additional attack causing physical damage equal to 50% of your magic attack, which is a guaranteed critical hit. Interesting. Okay, so your normal attack, I mean, then what's the point of all these things that give you crit chance, right? Like this gives you crit chance, critical hit 2. You have an ability that gives you a guaranteed crit. Interesting. Okay, you have to be next to them and then attack adjacently. Otherwise, you could use it at a range 2, just attack for 90%. But if they have Hidden Fragrance, you can hit them twice. Is that good with a guaranteed crit on the second one? I guess if you could buff your crit damage a ton, for a basic attack, this is pretty reasonable, especially because it's also going to heal you, right? I assume 40%, and then it's also going to give you 2 energy. Seems like one of the better basic attacks. Like seems like this is one of her better abilities so far. I do like this, absolutely. Hypnotic Strike is the other basic attack, a 30% chance of sleep. Get over it. It's not going to happen. We'll get to the good one here in a second. Life Devouring, 150% damage for 3 energy. You get Life Drain. Whatever. It's like not that very good of a skill. So let's see if her whole kit comes together with Penetrate the Bones right here. Single attack, causing 140% damage to Hidden Fragrance targets. The damage dealt is increased to 100. I guess if they have Hidden Fragrance, the damage is increased to 170%. Before attacking, their critical rate and critical damage is increased by an additional 15%. So overall, Hidden Fragrance doesn't sound like it. It does. It says when debuff, additional effect when attacked by Hansa, cannot be dispelled. So I don't know. Maybe it's like, I don't know. It's not very clear to me, but again, it's all these translations, right? So she could do 170% damage. It's a single target. It has a range of 3. And it actually, if you have this ability, right, here, the Scent of Poison, it'll go up to a range of 4. And then you can move 2 tiles afterward. You get a critical hit 2, so you have a 30% crit, combined with an ability to do 170% and an additional 15% crit. I mean, this is all like fine. The best thing about her is the passive, for sure. It's like she's just making everyone get sick and then lose their attack and defense, basically, right? She's kind of just like lackluster all around. Like she seems like an easy skip, no doubt. I do really like Lingering Fragrance, but I'm not sure it's significantly better than just using Magnus with Mountain Crusher. You know, he already has the aura that weakens everyone around him by the exact same percentages, and he has the Mountain Crusher, which allow you to do an AoE buff on your team. She seems to be slightly more damage focused and crit focused, but I'm not yet interested in her kit. It seems pretty whatever, honestly. She is a seeker, so she has more movement than Magnus, but her ability to get guaranteed crits is unique to her, I think. But overall, I'm not super impressed. Yeah, I'm not super impressed with her right now, but I mean, she doesn't even seem like that cool of a character. It's all about making people stinky. All right. And, you can make people stinky and debuff them. It's like fine, but it definitely seems like a character you could probably pass on. I'm going to do some polls on her, if you know what I mean. I'm going to do a couple polls, and then I'm hoping I don't get her, because then I'm just going to use have the pity carry over. I'm just like, but if I do happen to get her, then that's not like a downside, right? I am interested in just kind of pulling characters in general. Plus she's my new waifu, guys, for Laifu. I could fix her. Don't no one else pull on her. She's mine. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Overall, a little bit of a lackluster character, but I do like her passive. But I'm probably just going to stick to Magnus. If you have Magnus, I don't even know why you'd want to use her yet. Maybe there's something I'm missing about how the fragrance works, but she does not seem like a power crept character. I'll be honest. Not yet, anyway. She seems like she is a character that is well within the power stuff. Sorry. All right. Anyway, guys, that'll be much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip flops. Bye. Turning on the screen.